Hi friends, good evening. So I'll be continuing this series where we had left last time, where basically we were talking about a communication. Today we'll discuss the difference between a communicator and a speaker as per what I understood, what per I basically learned from my mentor, what I have learned from observing different people from my experiences. So before if you remember. In the last live on this particular topic, I had discussed how I went to a call along with my president, basically to a prospect, and what all happened there. So before I went there, what I used to do is I used to uh, blabber whatever knowledge I had about the product, services, USPs, advantages, everything at one go to the customer, and that was probably my drawback. And that is what exactly happens with a speaker. A speaker is determined to give all the knowledge about the subject what he has without considering the person to whom he is talking, whether he needs it or not, whether he absorbs it or not, whether he is able to connect to it or not. Okay, and that is what basically happens when you try to speak. In fact, I'll give you one more example. A couple of years back, I went in a seminar basically as an attendee, and the conference was very good. A lot of knowledgeable, innovative people were invited to speak on a particular topic. But today, if I think, I fail to understand why no, I was told to join that particular conference. The reason was that it was purely technical, and I'm a non-technical person. Uh, I was very excited. I was really looking to listen to those people because they were really knowledgeable. Those are the people whom I used to admire. Those are the people basically whose knowledge, I mean, I used to think very high about their knowledge, and they really had good knowledge. They were really, really good people, in fact. And I always believed in spending time, or I always believe all in spending time with the people who are successful, who are knowledgeable, who can add value to my life. So I went in that conference very excited, sat there, so took my notepad, took two kind of pens. Basically, you want to put heading and want to jot down the points. And when the conference started, believe me, after around 15-20 minutes, I lost my entire zeal. I mean, I was feeling like a batsman who was standing at a crease with bat in his hand and trying to connect to the balls by blazing every ball, and nothing was connecting. And it was exactly, there were bouncers, there were toe crunchers, everything were coming, and I, I mean, there was nothing I could collect from there. Everything was technical jargons. Everything was like no, all technical jargons, technical terms, which probably as a non-technical person I was not able to connect to. Then I realized it was really, I mean, seeing those people was really worth of my time. But then, no, the anticipation with which I came, that was probably a wrong anticipation. And I don't blame the speakers because they were speaking for the topic they were told. It is probably the organizers who could not give them the proper background of the people who would be attending the conference, or probably I was at a fault. I did not do my due diligence. I just got excited by the kind of people who would be there, who would be speaking, and I always wanted to listen to them. So probably that was a fault from my side also. But what happened after that conference? After that conference, whenever I get to know about any conference, I speak to organizer. I find out if for whom are they organizing, and believe me, most of the time they say it is for this particular industry. Now, that is not very specific information what I wanted to know. So, at a lot of time I ask, it is for technical people, non-technical people. They say it is for that industry in general. So, ठीक है. I mean, things went and go. I had one. one side I was really satisfied to have seen these people speaking, but at one side I was really cursing myself ki, why didn't I gather more information? I wasted a lot of my time. And a contrast to it, I had an opportunity to off late. In fact, it was online because of the COVID situation, but this was a fabulous seminar. I'll not say fabulous for everyone. Probably it was fabulous for me. The reason is I could connect to the speakers, what they were trying to say, and basically organizers were probably new, but they had defined to the speakers the kind of people who would be attending the conference, and the speakers also took a lot of pain to modify, to prepare the topic according to the attendees. I mean, very complex things like even AI, they were trying to put in very layman term, and that is what no, that is where I could connect. So that is the difference when you sit against a speaker or when you sit against a communicator. That is the difference what you get. You know, a communicator is more concerned about the audience rather than his subject knowledge. He might be knowing a lot of jargons, he might be knowing a lot of technical terms, but if a person sitting against him, for whom he is speaking, his focus is on that particular person, if he is able to grasp it or not. He is not obsessed by only his visualization. He is equally or even more obsessed what his audience are visualizing. He is focused on what audiences need rather than what he knows, what his knowledge is. Our audience might be a dumb person like me, so he basically will modify his content to suit to me, isn't it? And a speaker is basically, what a speaker does is basically he observes, or so he sorry he basically expresses his observation, his knowledge directly or indirectly. Just to give the differences, basically, a speaker basically puts the message first. He basically puts his knowledge first. I mean, he has a defined topic. अच्छा ठीक है, ये टॉपिक में ये चीजें कवर होनी चाहिए, so I'll cover that. Whereas what a communicator does, communicator basically finds a lot of things about his audiences. In fact, I'll give you an example. My mentor, Mr. Vijay, he is running a course on effective communication. Now, two of my friends have joined that. So, what he did first, he spoke to me about those friends, their backgrounds, what they want from that particular course, what is their bottleneck. He, in fact, asked me their Facebook and their LinkedIn profile so that he can go through it, he can find out more about them. I mean, similarly, he would have done for all the students whom he is coaching today for effective communication. So the just is key, a communicator basically finds more about the audiences rather than focusing more on the subject. Obviously, subject knowledge is important. Without subject knowledge, he will not be able to do that. But then he put more importance on the people with whom he is going to interact so that they can absorb. Then a public speaker, or say a speaker, basically focuses on what do I have, what knowledge I have, what can I no how can I enrich my knowledge, how can I no, and how can I get more about the subject. Whereas what communicator thinks is what the people would need from me, what they are here for, what they want to learn, what is the pain point which can get addressed by this particular seminar or this particular workshop. Then, you know speaker always is about the technique. He emphasizes on the techniques he can use. He emphasizes on his no, the way he will look while speaking. He uh, how can he express him, how it be more, how he would look more professional as such. Whereas the communicator tends to create an atmosphere. He tends to create a atmosphere where the people with whom he is going to interact would be able to learn, would be able to no absorb, would be able to feel free, would be able to feel connected, would be able to feel they are cared for. Then the focus of the speaker is on the words he says. You know, what kind of word can give the greater mileage, what kind of word basically can uh, boost his image. If he see he uses a technical jargon, or he uses the words from the vocabulary which are basically very difficult to speak, or no, which are not common. Whereas a communicator always focuses ki whatever he is speaking is that bringing change in his audience. So no, he always keeps the communication simple. He always uses the common words. He always goes for no tries to make complex thing very very simple. The way in the second conference I told for AI, I mean, which was for our purpose, the field of AI, they basically made it very very simple for me to grasp कि ठीक है हम भी AI यूज करेंगे for sales. Okay, और वो sales में क्या क्या कर सकता है. So that was basically that is the point I wanted to highlight. Then the speaker are image conscious. They are basically no, they think what uh, the audiences are thinking about them, how they are seeing them, are they impressed by the speaker or not. Whereas the communication communicator basically thinks about the audience. He thinks about if whatever he said has any impact on the attendee. Are they able to get better? Are they able to absorb it, or will they be able to implement it in their life? Then the goal of a speaker is to complete the message. He is not bothered whether I'm understanding or not. He is bothered about whatever he has prepared. He has to deliver it. Whereas the goal of a communicator is to complete the people, not complete the message. Basically, if a person is connecting, a person is getting, a person is able to appreciate internally, a person is able to know, visualize everything. Whatever a communicator is saying, that is his goal. And when we talk about priorities, the priority of the speaker is first message, second place, and third people. Now, message is whatever he want to communicate. He will prepare it really thoroughly. He'll put a lot of hard work. Place, place would be like, "Ki theek hai." I mean, he's on a podium. Say there is a stand. He is standing behind the stand and he is talking. The third is the least importance is the people, because he would be assuming that these people would have combined this mindset. Whereas communicator, his first point is people. He does a lot of research about his audience, what they would be looking at, what they want, what is their need. Then the place. Places he will always try to be close to the as close to the audience as possible. If you see any good communicator, he will never stand behind the podium and will talk to you. He will try to come to the edge of the stage so that we feel proximity to him. Then the message is important. I'm not saying it is not important, but then he gives it the last importance. And speaker basically speaks from the head, have to say something, but it is from the head, it is logical. Whereas a communicator also has to say something, but he speaks from heart. We can feel it. So that is that is the basic difference, and the most important difference is speaker love to speak to the people, whereas communicator love the people whom they speak to. There's a sea difference between these two lines. Speaker loves to speak to the people. So if people are there, they are understanding him or not, he is really happy to speak it. Whereas communicator is there, he loves the people for whom he is delivering the message, for whom he has prepared everything. So a communicator might change the topic, might change the subject, might change the way of expression, might change the way he is delivering his message, depending upon the person who is on the other side. If the people sitting on the other side are of high IQs or very good at technical terms, probably he can go in that domain and talk about technical jargons and all those things. Whereas if the people sitting on other side are as dumb as me, probably he will try to put everything in a layman term so that I can absorb it. That is the basic difference between a speaker and a communicator. See, I mean, I'll just summarize it in two lines. A speaker basically tries to put as much information in the attendee's mind or audience's mind as much as he can. He is not bothered about whether they can absorb it, they cannot absorb it. Whereas a communicator basically speaks only that much key person is able to absorb it. He will stop once he sees a person or audience basically are not able to you get to. He always tries to get the pulse of the people. He tries to make it very interactive. And interactive at times speakers also make. I'm not saying they don't, but then the kind of words they use and the kind of word a communicator will use, that will make a hell lot of difference. And believe me, the key to the proper communication is always empathy. We should understand with whom are we communicating. Then only we will be able to deliver our message clearly. So this was basically, in short, the difference between a communicator and a speaker. There are a lot more difference. In fact, like for a communicator, message is an extension of his life. He basically believes on credibility. He writes on credibility. Whereas स्पीकर के लिए वो मैसेज एक एक्सेप्शन है, ठीक है, आज वो इस टॉपिक पे बोल रहा है, कल किसी और टॉपिक पे बोल सकता है. Whereas a communicator, if speaks, his topics should be interrelated. He cannot basically, today he speaks on communication, tomorrow he speaks on, say, artificial intelligence. It is not possible because a communicator can only communicate about the things which are part of his life. He cannot communicate about the things which are not part of his life. Like, I'm from sales. Now I can speak to you on sales. I can speak to you on communication. I can speak to you on leadership. The reason is these are part of sales. And believe me, I should be able to connect to you if I'm delivering it properly. The reason is life is basically a series of sales. Every time you do something in your life, you're either selling or deselling anything. There is nothing. I mean, you cannot escape sales of whatever you are doing in life. Either you are, talking to your children, you are trying to sell them something. You are talking to your wife, you are trying to sell her something. You are talking to yourself, you are trying to sell something to yourself. It is not always about money. It may be for the satisfaction, it may be for the better future, it may be for something. But then, no, we keep on selling. So if you tell me to talk about, say, artificial intelligence, or talk about big data, talk about anything, I mean, I'll not be able to do it. The simple reason is ki if I have to sell those things, that's a different matter, because I can only talk about the value it adds in your life. But then if someone gets into the technicality, probably I'll bring my technical person. I'll say, boss, you talk to him. I mean, he understands your language, you'll understand his language. I'll not be able to understand your language, and probably the way I would be answering, you might not understand my language also. So that is the difference in a communicator and a speaker in a nutshell, in fact. And next time, basically, we will talk about the basics of communication. So next Saturday, the same time, 8:15, we will meet and we will talk about basics of communication. So till then, if I have added some value with this video for you, please comment where I can get better, where things probably you have not agreed with me, so that even I can learn. See, I'm in a learning phase even today. So I can learn from your feedbacks, I can learn from your comments, I can learn. If you can share some experiences, please feel free to share so that it also enriches me. So thanks a lot. We'll again meet on next Saturday with the third part of the communication, that is the basics of communication. Thank you.